If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to another Sunday Craft Talk. My name is Tamika Jameson, formerly known as Newhouse, and I'm excited to jump into our very first conversation of the year, where we bring in creatives every Sunday to talk about their creativity, their mental health, their emotional journey, their spiritual journey, and also how they have owned their craft. Today is not going to be any different. So make sure you grab your pens, your pencils, even your notepad, however it is that you retain information. And we want you to get inspired today. Today's guest is Miss Tabitha Blair. Welcome all, my darling. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm busy and blessed and moving and grooving. So excited about this year. So many beautiful things are on the horizon that I cannot wait to just reveal to our community and also to our followers. But with that being said, today we get to expose writers to our community to talk about how they have owned their craft. And today, my darling, will be no different. How has your New Year been?
New Year, I mean, let's be real, New Year's in March. But this new year that we call the 2024 now is it's beautiful. Every day is blessed. I mean, when you're in position to get in possession, like every day is walking in purpose and you're living life and loving it.
I agree. I always say that every day you definitely should treat it like is completely unique, because we have more days behind us for the most part. As we get older, we have less days ahead, and we should definitely appreciate the days that we are given. And we should make sure that we do something that's great, that's new, or we say hello, we greet somebody, we share some love, we share a smile, whatever the case may be. Try to spend most of your days giving out light and receiving light. So thank you so much for just agreeing to be on our platform today.
Thank you.
I'm excited to talk about your journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us, my lady. So who is Miss Tabitha? Take us into just a little bit of who you were then in the past. Take us in the past.
First and foremost, Timothy Tam Tams. First and foremost. Sorry, I make nicknames out of everyone's names. I just want to shout out Dondi Dancy for connecting us in the first place.
Yes.
I call her the queen of resources. She likes to call herself a princess. I'm like, you being humble. Appreciate you. But I just wanted to give her the shout outs before anything else, because we wouldn't be here if she hadn't suggested that. So thank you. Who is Tab? Girl. So first and foremost, I'll just break the barrier so you don't get confused. Don't let the light skin fool you. I am Jamaican. I am a little scaled down in the caucasity audacity because my mom's white, but my dad's Jamaican. And he brought up his whole family. Then
caucasity audacity.
It's audacious. Let's be real.
I like that.
I grew up watching it on the first hand, so I have stories. But he brought up his whole family and all that to Toronto. So I grew up in Toronto, Canada. But like we grew up with a strong Jamaican side as well. So for me, it's like I'm the last of 6, so there was no more melon left when they got to me, except for my hair froze. My hair, I do the cornrows. I have the hair, but
gotcha.
But my father was always like, "Oh, you the lightest, but you like you full. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's in you. Your roots is there.
Because as like biracial, a lot of people make you choose. That kind of like, it's a weird whole thing that we could talk about another time. But I didn't have to make a choice. I always knew, and I was always like, why is this happening to our people? Like, I just was always watching on from a younger tip. So I mean, but yeah, I'm an artist. I'm a spiritual advisor first and foremost, and then I have many tags: talents, abilities, gifts, and skills. That's what my man's DuVay likes to say. And so I'm an actress. I do voice acting. I'm a singer songwriter. I was first and foremost loving writing. Writing was my first thing, and everything else that comes from it can come from writing. And but I put that to the side, and then went into music and all sorts of things. But when I met DuVay, he saw my writing. He saw my raps actually, because I was on Instagram, and he was like, what happened? Like, you're a writer though. I'm like, yeah, I write some. I like to write stories, and I like to, and he's like, no, you're a writer. So he brought me back to that focus, and he's like, there's a lane for you, because there's not a lot of Black females who are saying what you're saying in the style that you're saying it. And I'm like, for real, trying to talk to our woman, try to have like more of a conscious thing. Like, I'm heavily influenced by Lauryn Hill when growing up, because she opened it up to be singer and like rapper, and be conscious and not be a hoe in these streets.
Right.
So yeah, that's just like a nutshell. But I came full circle back, and I'm just happy to be on this path, and the literary passion is like strong with me,
And so basically overall, you're a storyteller, you're a lyricist, you're a visionary, you're creative all across the board. And you've tapped in a number of different ways of how you can share stories and also share your perspective on life and femininity and culture and things like that. What is your favorite form of storytelling?
You know what? Hip hop started out in the heart, and everybody trying to, chart. But it's hip hop. I love writing rhymes. I love writing songs, because it forces you to be concise, and this is what I love about again, Black Pulp Fiction. We do flash fiction and episodes, and it's all cinematic. Because when you're listening to like Ghostface Killah, and he's a phenomenal lyricist and writer, storyteller, like those are stories that I love. It makes you tell that story. Cut out the superfluous, and I don't know what superfluous means, but cut that out, and let's get to the nitty gritty. So it kind of forces you to say what you want to say and paint a picture in a very short time. It's like a challenge.
Mm-hmm. And so, well, let's take it back a little bit, just into that form of storytelling, which is hip hop. I remember just when hip hop came out, because the flow that people, what different artists, they found their niche and their ways to deliver the type of stories and how they share their experience and their culture. Everyone wanted to try to have a unique voice and a unique approach to hip hop. And then we found our space in music and also in history. But often when it does come to us, even though a lot of the genres of music started with the root of us, which I say us Black folks, and whatever continent you come from, we influence almost everything, but often we're not respected. And then they'll try to take it and be like, oh, that's trash, and then try to take it and then, profit from it. It's a repeated thing when it comes to everything, when it comes to food, dance, music, writing,
all the things,
fashion, everything. Even down to our hair. So when it comes to like being a literary artist, the same thing really happened in that space, when they did not want to respect our literature and the way that we decide to tell stories. So can you take me to that journey of when you decide, I'm going to also be a literary artist. I'm going to tell my story through written word. What was that journey like for you as well?
I'll tell you this. I love to read, but I stopped reading a while ago. Because it was all boring, the same. And even if I was reading a Black author, it was still a Caucasian mind, if you can understand what I'm saying. They weren't telling our story. They weren't talking in the vernacular. They weren't like, they were trying to make it pretty. They were trying to make it a novel. They were trying to make it what was already out there, instead of being the jazz and the spice and telling the story. And so honestly, when I read The Pussy Detective by DuVay Knox, his writing, I came across his writing and it made me excited about it again because it was so different. But it was smart, and it was so smart that you're like, where did he come from? What?
Yeah.
what is that? Because it's like I'm kind of a literary snob, but I'm not a literary snob. I just have taste, and it's just like music. A lot of music can be good, but it's the same, and it takes me to be like, yeah, okay, keep that on. So I'm the same with literature. For a long time, I didn't care. That's why I stopped caring to even read it. I'm like, let me go over to another art form of literature that I can enjoy on a bigger level. But in books, it was dry, man. There's no seasoning.
Yeah, I agree. There was it was like an open. Of course, we have these different eras of storytelling, and we have those niche people that contributed to literature and their way of storytelling. But when it came to us being amplified and being respected and being a diverse of storytelling, we were still kind of behind. A lot of our literature just was not respected like that. We had a good handful, and so here you are. You're stepping into the space of publishing and storytelling. And so you held up this book here. And so I want to double back to the Pussy Detective. What made you want to support this project? What about this story was you like, wait, I have to support this project and I have to put this out?
Okay, so to clarify, this one is actually put out by Clash Books. Shout out to them. But he does have another one, Soul Collector, that is out from us that is equally on the same level.
Okay.
But that actually, Soul Collector came out just a few months. He wrote 2 books in 1 year, and this one was by Creative Onion. So this one's the one I actually saw first, the Soul Collector. But that wasn't the first book I ever read from him. It was actually a nonfiction book. It was like a manifesto, protest cry. But I won't talk about that one yet because we're gonna re-put it back out, and we'll talk about it at a later time.
Okay.
But for the Pussy Detective, like, first of all, like when he told me about it, when I knew he was writing it, I was like, I'm all in. But I didn't even know that it was going to be what it was going to be. But he had already teased those who were already hip to him with a couple of like short story versions of that. So like just little write-off ones. And that style, that flow, the stories, his storytelling is cinematic. It's like watching an episode in a seasonal series. You get there, it gets to the point, but it's also just like it's hip, it's jazz. Like he raps in it. It was so different, and it was so jive. I'm like, yeah, but the actual story of the Pussy Detective, the metaphysical that he broke it down to, and I love that it's controversial because a lot of what I call feminazis out there like to hate any man talking about a female body part. And they're like, you can't talk about it, you don't know it. And I'm like, if you read, and then they all read his book, and then they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you love pussy like that. Excuse me. But like in a genuine way, you care about women. Like it wasn't like that. I love it. This book blows your conception of a lot of different things, and it's just in a cool way. And it's not preachy or anything like that, but it's great storytelling. And then you learn some, and it's got a little black erotica in there. Nothing too crazy and scandalous, but it's juicy. And so it's like you get all that. I was here for it.
Okay, so now when it comes to this project here. The Soul Collector, Life and Death. So take us a little bit into his genre of storytelling. Is it erotica? Is it drama? Is it thriller? Is it mystery? So take us a little bit into his approach to storytelling.
So the genre itself is black pulp fiction. He's kind of craved and put his own niche out there. So black pulp fiction can fall under really any nonfiction and fiction. Black pulp fiction is rude, raw, gritty, unadulterated storytelling. And you can go off into subgenres like the Pussy Detective. I don't know. Where would I put that one at? That's detective. That's in like, because he is trying to find out something. So that's in one kind of mystery. Then you've got Soul Collector, which is more, what do you call that? what do you call that? Oh, I hate when the word eludes. Soul Collector is like, it's that telling of the afterlife. There's a better word for it, but you get what I'm saying. And then he has comic books, he has nonfiction books, the Immortality Guide, that's through art as well. But it's changing your mind on things, having some comedy in there, and also just being and it being directed at for us. You know what I mean? It'll hurt a white boy's feelings sometimes, and he's not here to cater to that. He's here for us. So it's like.
And so with the name of your publishing house, which is Black Pulp Fiction, so when you decided to not only step into the realm of putting out these stories, but you want to have a niche of the stories that you want to present. Yeah. Why so much Pulp Fiction?
Because Pulp Fiction, the history of Pulp Fiction, except for was when people were poor and they couldn't be buying novels, they couldn't be waiting all that time. They just had them on the scrap papers, and that was the Pulp Fiction. It was fast stories. It was kind of almost like a comic book without the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had that, and then the evolution of that had the pictures with it. You got the comic books, but Pulp Fiction was fast stories that kept people wanting to go through the series, like a soap opera almost. You know what I mean? From TV now, yeah. But before we had TV, they had Pulp Fiction, and people would look down on those authors, but the major authors, like even Dostoevsky and SYZ, like they would be doing Pulp Fiction under a different name, and to fund them for the bigger project that took them years and years and arduous work that they were never put out under their name under a Pulp Fiction. But they're like, I got to do these rags. I got to keep my my livelihood up. So that we're bringing that over to Black Pulp Fiction. It's that same mindset of we're not about the long-winded. I'm just like, get to the point, because that's how we talk, unless we're like decide to go on a rant. And so usually you say, excuse me for a second, I'm about to rant, and then someone's prepared for that, but you gotta ask permission, and you want me to read all 200 300 pages?
Well, unless you like Cat Williams, which you're a long-winded storytelling, there's so much to really to cover and to share.
It depends.
Yeah, it definitely depends. So I like the fact that you understood the type of storytelling that you want to share, and that is your lane, that is your niche. And how has this journey been fulfilling for you? Have there been challenges? Have there been triumphs? Take us into the space of business, and then how you and the feedback you have been receiving from your followers.
Right. So I never self-published before. I had no idea about it, and so I got together with DuVay, who has been in the self-publish. He's the one who had founded it in 2004. I only came on about 2020, and maybe even 2021. Anyway, like fully and officially. So learning the business, and like, because we were trying out Amazon. We were trying a couple different places just to see for Kindle and for exposure and making it easier on printing and saving costs and different things. But we found out the hard way that there's always going to be that control. Sometimes you don't want to be censored. Sometimes what you're saying doesn't need to be censored. It's just, it is what it is. It's not a hate speech. You just don't understand it. It's, you know what I mean? Because they don't want real things coming out. So it's like a couple of those kept happening, and we were like, okay, forget that. But even learning the formatting of that, oh girl, I had to have patience, because I didn't have anyone showing me before. But I'm one of those matrix people. I'm like, okay, just let me put me in front of the computer. I'll figure it out. Figure it out. I'll watch a couple videos. I'll see what it is. And so
I'm right there with you. I'm a trier, and I'm gonna figure it out along the way. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least I tried it, and I know it ain't gonna work.
Right. That's one thing we're gonna do. If it's supposed to be, then it will be, if you're determined to do it. But if you still getting the block, then honey, it wasn't for you. Not right now.
It's just not gonna work out. It just wasn't meant to be. I'm right there with you. And so is he? So when it comes to the books that you put out, and I noticed that you showed a nonfiction project. Can you hold it up as well?
Oh, girl, this thing's ahead of its time, and it was put out like 15 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
The Immortality Guide. And it was actually featured Confucius is a character that that DuVay has, his spiritual advisor name, that you can find him over on Substack with that. But he was on Charleston White's show last year sometime in May, and he had shown Charleston White was blown away because he read from the Immortality Guide. So this is it's 200 insights. It's all about health, wealth, but like how we're supposed to actually be eating, living. Like it's breaking down science. It's breaking down. It challenges things, but then when you look it up, this man is like Google. He's got Akashic records to the T. So he's the smartest man I actually know, and I know a lot of smart men.
Nice.
Yeah. So this, if you want one, I have 4.
Okay, all right. I like that. And so wait, where's your company based out of? Where are you at currently?
Right now, I'm in Toronto. I'm in Toronto. I came back up, but we were in St. Louis. But we're gonna make the move to be up in Toronto for the next couple of years because there's big things that I want to tap into our community up here where I have a bigger reach. St. Louis is kind of like they just backwards. We done. There's more potential of like helping more people up here. And right now, I do have a passion project and a client through our tags agency. There's a small Jamaican boy. He's 6. We're publishing his children's book that's coming out.
Nice.
I have some events going to happen up here for Black History Month because I think he's going to be the youngest Black, at least Canadian, that has is author. So trying to get the literacy in children is one of my major heart passion things. So I have a lot. We're going to do a lot up here in the time that we are, and then we're going to be traveling.
And then then move around, then expand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so how can people that are listening to you and they're listening to your story, they listen to the content that you're putting out, and they're getting an idea of just what you are passionate about, how can they potentially reach out to your company, and how do you even decide the authors or the writers that you actually want to invest in?
So, first of all, come and see me, Tabitha Blair, writer at yahoo.com. I'll say it one more time, Tabitha Blair, writer at yahoo.com. And because it'll go to the same email box. I'll look at that one first. So if you're interested, we do multiple things. It's not just about like if you want us to publish your book. A lot of it is more let's look at the body of work first. Let's see at the potential and see where you need to work so that you feel comfortable like that this is a solid project that you're putting out, because this is art. To me, literature is art.
Right, it is.
And we shouldn't.
It is an art.
Wanting to be selling our words like that. It's like, sell your ideas, sure, but like let's get to the art of it. Be proud of what you're putting out. So we help with editing. We break it down. We break it down and how to transition, they're just making it pop so that it's like when it does come out, it will go do the viral thing that it needs to do. So we do editing, we do what else? What was it? Have all the things in my head, but we do help with publishing, and we can even show you on like how to self-publish if you don't necessarily want to go through us, because it is easier when you're on a startup on a smaller scale. That way you don't have to like pay anything else. And then we also have with marketing. Because marketing is a whole bunch. I do a lot of the flyers and all that. I'm doing the visual art for the children's book that I'm doing right now. And that was by accident. I just was playing around. Like I said, I just was giving them a template so I knew what to give to the illustrator. And they were like, we love that. Can we just keep on with that? I'm like, oh, that's easy enough. I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
let me keep a little money in my pocket then. Let me pay.
Yeah. I'll follow you.
But yeah. So reach out to us if you have some stories. I would say, okay, I'm going to be honest. If you have stories that you want to submit, I need you to submit, first of all, what you like, your best, like what you really want to put out. Because if you don't feel confident about it, I'm probably going to skim it real quick and say, why are you wasting my time? Because let's be for real. All of our time is precious and costs us in one way or another, and I want to read it if it's good, if it has potential. It doesn't have to be perfect, but like if you have a great idea, keep it short as possible. If you know it's long, then give me like the first bit of it that I can fill in the blanks and see if you know. I just want to see your writing style, really and truly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. That's the audition. Just send me something short as the audition, and me and him will be more than happy. Me and DuVay are like, we're excited to find talent and to work with talent. We working with even Central Wilson outside of the realm. We've got Donzi is putting out the feelers and letting people know what we're about, because we are, even though it's been a long time, it's also been a short time, if you feel me. Like, so we're still startup, taking our time and doing it right. So send us whatever you like, but like.
All right, cool beans. All right, so Tabitha Blair writer at Yahoo.
At yahoo.com.
Yep, Tabitha Blair writer at yahoo.com. And also, too, one of our watchers commented and asked if you were going to be at Black Writers Weekend. Not really sure, but Black Writers Weekend, you know, it's the first weekend in August.
Listen, Tamika, listen. Listen. I actually had it on my notes because I was like, and I saw it in a little reel. Me and my man's already discussed that, because you know what, Donzi had let us know about that weekend, and it's on our roster of we're most likely. We just haven't confirmed yet because we have 2 other festivals that we're doing. I'm going to go over to see him back in St. Louis in February, and then there's another one in February at the AWP Book Festival. They're going to have Clash Books over there promoting hard. The Pussy Detective is doing so good, and I'm so proud. Like, it's doing what it needs to do. It'll be a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Okay.
Yeah. So we should be there.
Okay. All right. So I hope that y'all are there. You know, if not, then it's every first weekend in August. So even if you don't make it this year, put it on your calendar. Come holler at us for 25.
Can I ask you what? Can I get a little synopsis from you? Like, what's it about? Enticement. What I need to pay tickets and hotels.
I mean, so Black Writers Weekend is 4 days, right? And what's unique about Black Writers Weekend is I always tell writers that you're not a salesman. You're not traveling to sell a book and hoping that somebody will just give you $10, $15 for your book. You need fans, you need resources, you need relationships, you need connections. So the people that actually come to the festival, not only big mainstream sponsors like Amazon and MGM Studio, TV One and BET and Kensington and Hachette and Barnes and Nobles, having these people actually come to the actual festival, but we connect with actual bloggers, influencers. There are book clubs that are there, super intentional with the people that actually come into the space. And then we're also giving out, we have a pitch fest where last year we had All Black, we had TV One, we had MGM Studios, people from these actual platforms that are listening to your pitches. They're giving your feedback, and sometimes they're offering book deals and movie deals on the spot. And last year we actually had somebody actually gain a book deal. And so this is something we've done now for about 6 years with the Pitch Fest element. But there's parties, there's socials. People have launched literary agencies for meeting people from here, publishing houses, but it's very intentional, which is why I love producing Black Writers Weekend, because it stands out from other events that just want to create a vendor marketing. You know, you get to sell books and things like that, but there are no relationships or longevity that's being built long term from this platform. So Black Writers Weekend is something I really love, and I pride myself for, because it's very intentional. People get to really network. They build relationships from there. They learn from there. We'll have publicists there, agents there. We'll have lawyers there that's giving out these workshops, and they're sharing these resources with our writers and with our community partners that are coming out to share resources. So it's super intentional. It's super beneficial for writers that actually come out and actually support, and actually it's not just come out, but they make sure they're networking and they do their part. So matter of fact, let's show y'all a little bit about what Black Writers Weekend is about.
Here's what you missed at this year's Black Writers Weekend. On Thursday, we kick off the first day of Pitch Fest before getting into our first panel. Then we end the night off mixing and mingling. After check-in and orientation on Friday, we start the second day of Pitch Fest. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., our guests, experts, and vendors exchange stories and information through panels, workshops, and tables. And of course, we celebrate it with a social. Saturday is a bit of a scavenger hunt. Across 6 locations, we have workshops, panels, book signings,
sorry. My phone,
performances, and more. Our final day is the 15th annual AANBC Awards, complete with red carpets, live music, and lots of honorees. Thank you to everyone that came out this year, and we can't wait to see you in 2024. For more information, please visit blackwritersweekend.com.
So as y'all see, it's like 4 days, y'all. So it's book signings, it's Pitch Fest. You have master classes. We have our award show where we invite Atlanta's elites and influencers out. It's red carpet style. Just imagine the NAACP Image Awards where we honor literary legends. There are those in the film industry there. It is a creative hub of just opportunities. So that's what makes Black Writers Weekend stand out from a lot of the rest. Y'all are not salesmen, you're artists, and you definitely need to go to places and venture off to places where you can not only earn, but you can build relationships as well. So relationships is what's going to take you far. So Black Writers Weekend is top tier, not just because I am the producer and the creator, but because I'm very intentional. And I started as a writer first, and I understand what it feels like to travel. And then, you're selling books, but then people say, oh, well, I'm just going to support you. And, I don't really read these books, but here's $10. And I always tell them, look, I don't need your $10. Right. I need you to give it to somebody who's going to read, who's going to enjoy it, and who's going to talk about it. And that's what you're going to get at Black Writers Weekend.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's my baby.
And I saw that there was like some music going to go down because I love it.
Yep. Because you have parties, you got socials, the award show, we do an after party there. There's celebrities, there's influencers. So we blend authors with filmmakers, with social media influencers, with celebrities that's on the screen, the big screen, the small screen. And then I look to get big time sponsors, sponsors that can actually make a difference in our creative journeys. It's a lot of hard work too to get these people to be interested in this platform. And because again, they didn't respect our storytelling, so we had to make them respect our storytelling. So Black Writers Weekend, and it's a creative hub of just opportunities and fellowship and networking, and of course you're gonna sell some books.
I love it. Okay.
Yep. So every first weekend in August.
I am a mess. I'm so sorry.
You fine, girl. You're absolutely fine. So I know you said you back in Toronto. You got a few things going on. You're looking for some writers that can hit you up by going to Tabitha Blair writer at Yahoo. And then hopefully, we'll cross paths, as Black Writers Weekend, never know.
We will most definitely.
Yep, definitely never know. And of course, I want you guys to definitely support Tabitha and her Black Pulp Fiction publishing house. Go and check out this book, The Pussy Detective, as well as check out all their other content that they have on their roster. And if you are serious, like she said, submit your best work. Don't come playing, and don't send no half work. Don't send nothing. You just got a chapter, and then they want to say, let's read the rest of the book, and you don't have it. Please show them respect by sending something that's of value. And also make sure you put in your best foot forward as well, y'all.
Yeah. Also, we don't do horror.
All right, Miss Tabitha. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing, Tamika. First and foremost, one other place that you can find us where we're really doing a lot is on Substack. That's where we found Dondi.
Okay.
Yeah, Dondi. That's where Confucius is blowing up. That's where like all sorts of our Black Pulp Fiction publishing house. We have a page for that with our flash fiction. So there's a lot more that you can read for free and get into the vibe. And you can also connect with us there. And we also have our individual ones with me, Tabitha Blair at Substack, and then also Confucius at Substack. So You can find us
Nice.
there.
I actually like Substack. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh,
okay.
You on there? I need to find you.
No, I'm not on it, but I follow other people on Substack. I'm on like other platforms, and I can't do them all. So I'm like, but it's a good platform, y'all. It's a good platform. It is. It's a good platform.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my lady. So thank you so much. And I'm rooting for y'all. I'm excited that you found your niche. I want to encourage you to continue to share your love for literature, share your love for children, share your love for our storytelling and our experiences as well. And I'm rooting for y'all. However we can ever support y'all in the future, please holler at us and let us know.
I'm going to see you in Kansas. I'm not sorry, in Atlanta.
Atlanta. All right. I'll see you there.
Atlanta. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna see you there, my darling. All right, y'all. Now, for those that was listening and watching, if you are struggling with your projects and you want to get your projects out there, perhaps you're not even a writer, you need some assistance there. Check out our next commercial from one of our partners, Delphine Legacy Media, and they will get you covered. I will see y'all back here on Tuesday when we are presenting Write, Market, Publish, and as well as 2 other workshops. So this week we will return with 3 additional workshops as well. So make sure you are befriending us on all of our social media platforms that we are AANBC. And join our Patreon at patreon.com/AANBCINK.
In a world where creativity meets the digital age, one agency stands out from the rest. Welcome to Delphine Legacy Media. We are a team of passionate experts and creatives dedicated to elevating your brand to new heights.
I learned so much today. It was really inspiring hearing everyone speak about all their different experiences and getting together like authors and screenwriters. And I learned a lot from this.
Their creativity and expertise are second to none. But what sets us apart? We tailor our services to fit your unique needs. Whether you're an author, a business owner, or an artist, our services include interviews, media tours, book tours, and speaking engagements, all designed to put your brand in the spotlight. Are you an artist that seeks to obtain more media, headline your own book tour, or adapt a film? Or perhaps you need media training to best prepare yourself? Whatever it may be, we can manage it. Picture your brand in the limelight. Picture your brand in the limelight. Your vision realized. At Delphine Legacy Media, we're partners in your success. Ready to take your brand to the next level? Contact us today. Delphine Legacy Media, where creativity meets success.